Hello and welcome to Marketing Edge on TV, Nigeria's leading initiative in the business of brand management and the management of brand business. It is a 30-minute awesome package that comprises brand news, branding focus, and industry conversation, all in a mix encompassing thorough and in-depth analysis aimed at promoting the brand idea. I'm Oluwabukola Omoni. Stay tuned.
Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the brand idea.
We begin with brand news, where we'll bring you the latest developments around brands and the field of marketing and advertising in Nigeria and around the world. Now on brand news. Ronan Redmond, the outgoing commercial director at TVC Communications, has called on chief marketing officers across board to initiate some strategic moves that will help understand the real task of proving the value of marketing to boost business growth and strengthen customer experience. Stating this on Marketing Edge on TV, the Outstanding Media Personality of the Year award winner urges chief marketing officers to realign and chart new paths of seeking alternative routes for smarter metrics.
Just two areas where I really strongly advocated over the last number of years, especially starting with COVID. CMOs, chief marketing officers, have to get braver and have to get bolder. The problem we have, we saw during COVID and post-COVID in the tough macroeconomic times that we're in, the first thing business owners will do is they look to cut marketing budgets. That impacts on us all. So we need very strong CMOs to be able to sit at the table with the other executives and to fight for that marketing budget and to fight to stop. It's those companies who continue to advertise during a recession. They're the companies who come out stronger than those who take the easy option, which is to cut the ad spend.
Following the exit of the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of First Bank of Nigeria Limited, Dr. Adeshola Adedutan, the Board of Directors has appointed Olusegun Alebioshu as acting CEO of the 130-year-old institution. The appointment takes effect immediately and is subject to the approval of the Central Bank of Nigeria. Alebioshu, who has the Executive Director and Chief Risk Officer, jointly led the transformation of First Bank over the past 8 years as an integral member of the team under the previous CEO's leadership, is well placed to deliver on the bank's strategic objective. Alebioshu joined First Bank in 2016 and has over 3 decades of banking experience. Sprite reintroduces its iconic Obey Your Thirst campaign to excite and target the new generation of consumers, popularly known as Generation Z. First launched in 1994, Sprite's original Obey Your Thirst campaign pushed boundaries by championing authenticity and its consumers in a very unique way. This is to demonstrate its age-long commitment as a pioneer in the realm of innovation and ideation, with endless evolution and growth, while striving to impact generations of new consumers in today's market. Kanta has partnered with social media platform TikTok for brand lift measurement. The agreement sees TikTok name Kanta as a specialist partner for brand lift measurement, which allows TikTok advertisers to quantify advertising impact on brand lift metrics such as advertising recall, awareness, attitude, and favorability. The qualification process comprised more than 700 TikTok brand lift studies carried out in partnership with brands including Pepsi. Kanta is endorsed by TikTok as providing the highest standards of measurement excellence and serving as an independent source of truth of TikTok's ability to drive marketing outcomes. That was brand news. Next is branding focus after the break.
Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the brand idea.
Now on branding focus. In the bustling streets of Nigeria, A new form of entertainment is taking the nation by storm: skit making. What started as a simple hobby has blossomed into a thriving industry, propelling talented individuals from obscurity to stardom while reshaping the country's economic and entertainment landscape. From the comedic genius of Brother Shaggy to bold wit of Lai Wasabi, Nigerian skit makers are captivating audiences worldwide and redefining the boundaries of comedy in the digital age. Skit making is an art form that blends humor, satire, and social commentary into short bite-sized videos. These videos, often not more than a few minutes long, lap on various aspects of life from everyday situations to societal issues with a unique Nigerian flair. Whether it is poking fun at a political figure or imitating cultural norms, skit makers use their creativity to entertain and provoke thoughts. The rise of skit making in Nigeria mirrors the global trend of digital content creation. With the advent of social media platforms like YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, skit makers have found a captive audience eager for their comedic offerings. What was once a niche hobby has become the third largest entertainment industry in Nigeria, valued at an impressive 50 billion naira, an equivalent of 34 million US dollars. The growth of the skit-making industry can be attributed to several factors, which includes low barrier to entry that allows anyone with a smartphone and a sense of humor to become a content creator. Insatiable demand for fresh, engaging content that has fueled the industry's rapid expansion and several others. The extensive use of social media has provided skit makers with a platform to reach millions of viewers instantaneously. Skit makers attract millions of viewers and engagements on their social media pages, making them highly sought after by brands looking to capitalize on their popularity. The apex advertising regulatory body in Nigeria has raised concern about unethical advertising practices and misinformation in skit maker content. While some creators initially resisted ACAN's interventions, others welcomed the opportunity to improve the industry standards and build trust with their audience. As the industry continues to evolve, skit makers must adapt to changing trends and embrace new opportunities for growth. Welcome back. Next is Industry Conversation, where we have discussions with industry thought leaders. Today, we'll be having the concluding part of our conversation with the CEO of All Seasons Zenith, Mr. UWEM AFANIDE. Join me right after the break.
Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the bright idea.
Welcome back to Industry Conversation. My guest today is the Managing Director and CEO of All Seasons Zenith, Mr. UWEM AFANIDE. So I wanted to ask, do you envisage a situation where global markets in key areas such as global connectivity, digital and online growth, and the monetization of data, do you envisage that they will become the determinant in ruling market forces, including in Nigeria?
Yes, I think so. There are three key elements of this question that you actually called out. One is global connectivity. Okay. The other one is digital online growth. And the last one is data monetization. Now, I'll try to connect all dots together. We live in a global village, so global connectivity is there. No one lives in silos anymore. Whatever you do, follow me, I'm trying to connect the dots now. Whatever you do on digital, on online, leaves a footprint. Whatever you do online leaves a footprint, and your online footprints generates data for somebody, So we live in a global village that ensures global connectivity. Someone sitting in London can harness and tap into data generated from Nigeria. because of your online footprint, you know. So these three fundamentals actually connect one another. So what have some companies tried to do? They've tried to monetize data that they generate through online footprints. You know, through wherever you go to Google, you are leaving your digital footprints.
Yes.
So companies have tend to pick up these footprints and monetize it. Now, data monetization comes in two forms. Number one is data as a service. It's called DaaS, which is you buy raw data. I just want raw data from you. Give me the raw data. I want to use it for something. Or insights as a service. These are data that have been processed and turned to meaningful information, you know. So it is critical. Data monetization is key and is having its impacts on Nigeria. That's why if you go to certain sites, your apps accepts or rejects cookies. So once you reject, I don't think your footprints will be able to be followed through exactly. So it is critical. It is key in this market. Companies are tapping into it. Data is a big thing. People are making a lot of money from it. And if you can, and so long as it is legal. One other thing is about the legality of it. You have to make it legal. Let people know that you're using their data for this. So it's in this market. It's here to stay, but just make it legal.
Okay, great. Let's talk about technology. How would you say agencies are leveraging technology?
I will speak to tech into tech. What we know as tech within the agency business is actually data and apply and applications, you know, data and apps. We call them apps. Apps are the tools we use to profile data, you know. Critical is a critical tool for, I'll speak to the industry that I operate in, to the media industry. Without data, you can't move, you can't profile, you can't provide the right services to your clients. So data is key, and applications, which are tools, are key. So these two form the basis of what we know as technology in the media space or in the advertising space. So to answer your question straight up, it's critical. It's no brainer that this helps your day-to-day operation. This helps you profile your audience. This helps you optimize your spend in terms of how you allocate your budget. So there are various tools that are being used within the media space. So pointedly, technology is very, very critical within the space we operate in.
Very, very critical. So what about research? How would you say professionals in your sector, how would you say they are employing or deploying research in order to harness their targets approach?
The essence of research is to gather data, and data helps you to process information and arrive at good insights, and insights helps you plan, develop better strategy and helps you plan. So research is key. Now, behind research is funding. So with funding, you establish and carry out more research. So research is very key. Most agencies, as you know, no longer work in silos. Most agencies are networked. So they liaise with their global partners and carry on local researches. So researches are key. Global partners support them in terms of the models, in terms of sometimes funding, because researches are quite expensive to carry out. But to answer you, researches are quite key in the media business. Without research, I think you'll be running blindly. So you need the research to provide data, which will enable you generate better insights.
I think one thing that is key for me, what you said, is that without data, you would be running blindly.
Absolutely.
Okay, well,
Absolutely.
so let's talk about ACON. Now, what do you think about the recent moves and reforms introduced by ACON?
I think it's been good, if you ask me. It's been quite good. The way we used to operate before is changing. You know, people work with a sense of being watched by Big Brother, what they do. You know, you no longer operate the way you used to. But they still have a lot to do. There are areas that are still a bit unclear. They recently went into digital vetting.
Okay.
Vetting, and I think it's a bit unclear. I've had cases, 1 or 2 cases where clarity is not sure. What are we vetting? What are you? But overall, I think they've done a good job. You know, as I said, you operate in this market with a sense of someone is watching what you do, and you have to do things the right way. And it cuts across the entire ecosystem, not just the media agencies or the creative advertising agencies. It cuts across even clients, even outdoor businesses, how we operate generally. So I think they've done a very good job, to be honest. They just need to clarify gray areas so everybody will be on the same page.
Okay, great. You mentioned clarity. Now, in terms of its published vetting rates, what's your view about?
It speaks to integrity, openness, you know. So when everybody gets to know what is being charged, you know, so an agency cannot bill a client an amount that is not being charged. So everybody gets to see what is being charged. If Akon say they are charging you 500,000 for penalty, everybody gets to see it. If they are charging you 50,000 for acceleration, 8 hours acceleration, or whatever the number is, everybody gets to see it. So it's good. It shows openness. It shows Akon is running with a sense of integrity, and I think it makes a whole lot of sense for the overall industry.
Oh wow!
So it's good. It's a good thing they published the vetting rates.
The vetting rates, good. Okay, so let's talk about All Seasons Zenith.
Yeah.
Now, tell us about some of the incredible product portfolios that your company run.
First of all, we've been in the business for quite a while, as you know. We've learned, we've relent, we are quite dynamic, and on a day-to-day basis, we regenerate ourselves. We have a potpourri of products which enable us, you know, maximize our output to our clients. We've got prediction, which is a tool that helps you predict sales based on your advertising expenditure. We've got Growth OS, which is a potpourri of all our tools together. So we've got an array of tools, and by virtue of the fact that we are a global company, not just local, we also tap into our global hub, where you have so many tools. And again, those tools, it goes back to data. Those tools on its own are just tools. They ride on data. Those tools are backed or run by data. So most of the data that's run those tools are locally sourced data. So the tools are there. You just need local data to amplify those tools. So yes, we've got a potpourri of them in this market. And as we go on, before the year runs out into next year, you'll see all and many others that will come up with in this market.
Okay, so let's talk about some of the principles, some of the founding principles of All Seasons Zenith. What are some of the ethos and founding principles of your agency?
Basically, we are known as the ROI agency.
Oh, wow.
Now, ROI in the marketing terms is known as return on investment.
Okay.
But within the context and confines of Zenith, it's been profiled even further. So we've got return on imaginations, how you think, a return on insights, and return on individuals. So putting all this together leads to you ensuring that the clients get the return on their investment. So our people is very critical to us. The way they think and imagine is very critical. And the insights that we generate is very, very critical and important to the way we deliver services and value to our clients. So putting all this together over the years, we believe we are on a very solid foundation on giving clients the best return on investments in this market, and not just this market, globally. That's why we are known as the Return on Investment Agency.
Okay, great. So as we ramp up, our viewers would like to know, who is UWEM AFANIDE?
Interesting question. How do I begin to define myself? I'm just a cheerful, merry-go-round guy. I've been in this industry for quite some time, Interestingly, I entered the industry as a research executive,
Wow.
I entered as a research intern, so I was doing a lot of research. And from a research executive, I've grown. I went into media strategy and planning. From strategy, I went to Ghana. I was in Ghana for some time. I worked in Ghana markets. I came back to Nigeria, and I've been in management ever since. And management has been an interesting role, getting people to do things, managing people, managing process, and managing bottom line. So it's been interesting. So that's me. I've been in the industry for a while, and it's an industry that I love very much. And I don't know how long I'm still going to be in the industry, but while I'm here, I'll have maximum fun.
Great. Okay, so tell us, what would you say are some of the, principles, or what would you say has kept you going all along and has, made you to record, the amazing growth you have in your career trajectory?
Well, I think it's the joy of having a client send you a mail saying thank you for helping them do this. I think that is quite fulfilling in this industry, or going through an appraisal section with the clients and getting positive feedback. I think for me, that is the adrenaline that makes you wake up in the morning and want to do more, So for me, it is critical. Client satisfaction, it's why we are in this business. And by the time that satisfaction starts going down, then we know that we're almost done in the business. So for me, that keeps me up in the morning and keeps me going, knowing that you're doing something that results in something, you're adding value to something.
Adding value. Okay, so just before I let you go, tell us one industry mantra that you've always held close to your heart.
Consumer is king. It's not industry, it's a maxim mantra. Okay. In the business we actually operate, it's about the consumer. Whether you're on the client side or you're the end user side, the consumer is the reason why we are in this business.
Okay.
On the media side, we profile the consumer a lot. We profile the consumer's media habit. The consumer goes here, you want to know the reason why he goes there. He goes here, you want to know the reason. And you try to figure out what's the next move for this consumer. Because the truth is that clients follow audience. Where their audience, the clients will follow. So at the end of it all is about the consumer being king, whether it's on the media side or he's on the sales side or he's on the branding side. So in whichever way, the consumer is the king.
the consumer is king.
Absolutely.
It's been an absolute joy speaking with you on the program. Thank you so much.
It's been an absolute pleasure to be on your program.
Thank you
and I
so
look
much.
forward to being on it sometime in the future.
Oh, great. We'll be expecting
Thank you very much.
Soon. And that's the much we can take on this week's episode of Marketing Edge on TV. Join us same time next week for another informative episode. I'm Oluwabukola Omoni. Bye for now.
There is always more to a story than the screaming headline. The part of a story that is not told casts a shadow. It's like the part of an object that is not reached by light. On TVC News, I'm able to explore the many angles there are to a story, talking to stakeholders, asking the difficult questions, and digging for facts. I believe the viewers are able to make a better decision if they're well informed and understand not just a part, but the complete story. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Akiwande Oluwole Soyinka was born on 13th July 1934 in Abeokuta, Nigeria, to parents Samuel and Grace Soyinka. His education began with the Christian lessons of his parents as well as the more traditional Yoruba spiritual customs taught to him by his grandfather. He had his preparatory university studies at Government College Ibadan in 1954, subsequently University College Ibadan, and he continued at the University of Leeds, earned a bachelor's degree in English literature. Soyinka's master's degree focused on projects combining his Yoruba culture with traditional British theatre traditions. He later returned to school in Nigeria to study African theatre, during which time he continued to produce poems and plays, one of which appeared on Nigerian television. Shortly after, he became the chief of the Cathedral of Drama at the University of Ibadan. Nigeria had only recently gained independence from Britain and political corruption was at a high. Soyinka's plays and poems became increasingly political and he began giving speeches protesting government corruption. He was accused of conspiring with the Biafra rebels. He was therefore arrested and imprisoned in 1967 for almost 2 years during the Civil War, but managed during his time to write numerous poems. He was finally released in 1969 after a brief period in France. He returned to his position at the university where he founded the magazine Black Orpheus. He left his position and Nigeria in 1971, wary of the political climate of the country. During this time, he published books of poetry and essays. His plays were collected and published, and newer plays were staged. In 1986, he was the first African to win the Nobel Prize in Literature for a wide cultural perspective and with poetic overtones fashioning the drama of existence. He dedicated his acceptance speech to Nelson Mandela and used the platform to criticize apartheid. Later that same year, Soyinka was awarded the Ajib Prize and in 1988 published his book Mandela's Earth and all the poems as well as art, dialogue, and outrage, essays on literature and culture. He also accepted a position at Cornell University. Throughout his life, he has served as a spokesman against apartheid and government corruption. He has won numerous other awards for his work, including the Anisfield Wolf Book Award, the Academy of Achievement Golden Plate Award, and the Ajib Prize for Literature, and he has taught at many prestigious universities, including Emory University, Harvard, and Obafemi Awolowo University. In his lifetime, Soyinka has published 2 novels, 3 collections of short stories, made 3 movies, translated 2 novels, 5 memoirs, 7 poetry collections, 13 essay collections, and produced nearly 30 plays. He holds honorary doctorates from numerous universities and has been invited to teach in schools around the world. He continues to write prolifically in spite of a bout with prostate cancer in 2014. Wole Soyinka, the Nigerian playwright and political activist, has positioned himself as a voice of the voiceless through his piece of art. He has distinguished himself as the African icon that continuously makes a mark in African literature and the world at large.